For the TNT title, ladies and gentlemen, it was Mark Briscoe against Kyle Librarian Felcher. And he comes out with the little glasses and things. It's just like, he looks so studious. Here's the thing. And of course, I watched this because I like Mark Briscoe, but also I'm sympathetic to Kyle because he has talent. And he's got so much potential. And I'm afraid that this is going to be the biggest wasted opportunity for the wrestling industry that we're looking at right now. Braun Breaker's in the WWE, and he's going to be in the main event at WrestleMania. But if you're looking at the next level of guys that are capable of and have all the tools, Kyle is amongst them. He's got a great physique. He's athletic. He does all the moves well. He works hard. He gives it his all. He needs experience and hair and a defined personality. But the problem is, and we've said it, he's never going to learn here. He's never going to learn psychology, never going to learn putting a match together right. He's never going to learn how proper booking goes. The advanced level shit that you have to know to be a legitimate big star rather than just being athletic. And he's going to get none of this here because even if people are telling him one thing, they're putting him in this kind of environment where his booking on TV, his manager is not really a manager, and the booking is back and forth, and every match has to do every goddamn thing. And, nevertheless. But I feel bad for him because he could be a boon to the business. Maybe he's young enough when he gets out of there and he gets to the other place that, he won't be too old to learn new tricks. I wanted this to be a wrestling match because they can both do it. But at the same time, they're down on the floor doing the stunts with the chair. And okay, yes, some of that is Briscoe's gimmick. But they've already done that shit in the last one. Get in the ring. Let's use the ring once in a while. And then Mark, he goes for the cannonball flip off the apron of the ring, but Kyle ducks out of the way and Mark busts his ass hard on the floor. So the heel didn't cheat to stop the babyface. He outsmarted the babyface. Nobody's letting them think about these things. They're making them think. They're coming up with ideas for what they can do in the match, and there's nobody sitting there to remind them, hey, whoa, what about oh, shit, you're right. If you don't think about something, nobody brings it up because there's no control. And then Kyle turned the stairs sideways and powerbombed Mark on the stairs while the referee stood there and watched it. This wasn't supposed to be the no disqualification, anything goes match, Brian. It was all the other ones. And then Kyle just got in the ring and Mark beat the count and it turned into another regular match. The guy's just been powerbombed on the fucking stairs. So then Mark fought back because the powerbomb didn't stop him for too long. And they started trading fake forearms where it looked like neither one of them can work or both of them can work. One would think that somebody would be enterprising enough to realize I'm not going to do this direct that everyone else is doing. And then Mark made a comeback and it got complicated. They went back and forth. It was a cold single match. They kind of lost people with too much what the fuck is going on. They got on the top turnbuckle. They struggled forever. Mark carefully helped Kyle give him a superplex off the top rope. And they both sold forever. I'm thinking that they're about to go home. They roll to the floor. Mark Briscoe then gives Kyle a J driller on the apron of the ring. And then they fall to the floor and sell forever. And then Mark rolls Kyle in, goes for the elbow off the top. Kyle moves. He's just been Drillered on the apron of the ring. Now they're both fine because they're up. Mark gives an elbow off the top rope onto Kyle, who's standing on the floor, which was neat. That was a cool looking move. Not after all the goddamn hospitalization angles. And then he rolled Kyle in and gave him a froggy bow off the top and got a 2 count. I'm like, God damn, we're 20 minutes in. What the fuck? Now, then they started kicking out of roll-ups. They followed Jay Drillers on the apron and power bombs on the stairs with the best of Tony Charles and Billy Robinson. And then Mark hit another Jay Driller and got a 2 count, and Fletcher got to ropes. And then after all of that, we're closing in on 25 minutes. Briscoe puts Kyle up in the torture rack. Kyle grabs the referee's shirt, like to steady himself and pull the referee toward him. He drops behind Mark, does Kyle. When Mark swings and Kyle ducks, Mark holds up so he doesn't hit the referee. Brian, how far would you have estimated that the referee was when Mark Briscoe stopped his swing short? Was he 10 or 12 feet away from him? What do you think?
It was a good distance.
He was all the way back in the corner of the ring. So Mark holds up like, oh my God, I almost punched in your general direction. Kyle gives Mark a little shove in the back. Mark takes 1 step toward the referee, and the referee turns and cowers in the corner like he's seen a truck coming at him. And then when he does that, Kyle kicks Briscoe in the balls while the referee is obviously trying not to look. He looked up and he looked around. My God. And then Kyle hits Briscoe with a brainbuster. Cover. 1, 2, kick out. He kicked out of that. Then Kyle gave him a knee lift, got a 2 count. Then Kyle lawn darted him into the turnbuckle and gave him another knee lift and gave him a brain buster on the top turnbuckle. 1, 2, 3. What the fuck? Why did they even do the spot with the referee? The heel could have cheated and won, but instead, he beats him clean and flat. Briscoe has no out. He just got beat flat by this guy with numerous fucking moves. It didn't get any heat on Kyle, except he's a bad heel because he cheated and it still didn't work. The execution looked phony, but thank God that Briscoe in the end just was not as good as the heel because the heel just beat him. The fuck are they doing?
I don't know, and they did it for a while. The spot that, not that it was the greatest thing in the world before it, but the spot that really lost me was the superplex just because of them setting it up. It's like when you see guys going slow and the other one just not moving, just breathing, waiting, and they're helping each other, it takes me out of shit.
And grabbing on in the right place gently so that they have...
Yeah, and then they went another like 10 minutes after that and did a whole bunch of other shit.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. A lot of people will say, well, they got to be careful up there because they might fall off and hurt themselves. Exactly. You don't have to be up there. If you can't do it where it doesn't look cooperative, just don't do it wherever it transpires, top of the ropes or out on the floor, whatever. That used to be a goddamn legitimate requirement. If some green guy came into territory and did shit 2 or 3 nights in a row that looked phony, the referee or the opponent or somebody would tell the office and that wouldn't happen no more. And the guy probably wouldn't be there. Because that was the important thing. It's not what goofy thing can I think of that people will pop because it looks like I may have committed suicide. But what's not insulting to the professionalism of the goddamn industry?
You know, you'd always hear about like the Crockett shows in the late 80s how there were so many talented wrestlers, it was almost like they were trying to one-up each other. You know, how's someone going to follow the Midnight Express? Well, how's someone going to follow Arn Anderson? How's someone going to follow Ric Flair? You know what I mean? But it wasn't like, all right, we need to be able to do as much as we can because they're going to do it. Let's do something completely crazy and fuck ourselves up.
Yes.
Just to make sure that we get over a little bit more than the other match.
And also, and there, again, stealing the show is by going out and in the time that you're allotted and the fucking parameters of the goddamn rules of the game, you have a match where the issue behind you and you're over with the people and the match brings them on the emotional roller coaster and pays off with a big pop at the end. And the guys used to be able to do that in any number of different ways. I mean, on like a big TBS special or potentially a sellout in Charlotte or Philadelphia or whatever, Ricky Morton would kick out of the rocket launcher at 2 9/10. And we would be 60 seconds from the goddamn hot tag and the fucking comeback and the finish. That was, we didn't need to just, nobody was doing unauthorized juice. You got blood when you were told to. Nobody was, more than an occasional rattling around of a timekeeper's chair was engaging in a bunch of furniture or going 15 minutes past their time or whatever. You had parameters, but you could still do it differently than the other people.